In a faraway galaxy, humans considered themselves weak and cowardly compared to the advanced alien civilizations that inhabited the cosmos. They had long since ventured out into space, but still felt insignificant next to the technological marvels and awe-inspiring feats of the extraterrestrials they encountered. Zach was a young astronaut preparing for his first deep space mission aboard the spaceship Odyssey. He had dreamt of exploring the stars since he was a little boy, and now his chance had finally arrived. As he boarded the sleek vessel, his heart raced with excitement and trepidation. "Ready for your big adventure, rookie?" Commander Riker, the seasoned leader of their mission, greeted Zach with a firm handshake. "Don't worry, kid. We'll make a proper spacefarer out of you yet." Zach gulped and nodded, trying to hide his nervousness. He didn't want to let his crewmates down or show any signs of the cowardice humans were known for. As the Odyssey left Earth's orbit and ventured into deep space, Zach couldn't help but marvel at the infinite expanse of stars surrounding them. It was breathtaking and humbling all at once. Several weeks into their exploration mission, the crew was jolted awake by blaring alarms. "Unknown vessel approaching," the ship's AI announced urgently. "They're not responding to our hails." Commander Riker hurried to the bridge, his face grim. When the alien ship came into view on their displays, Zach's blood ran cold. It was massive, easily dwarfing their own spaceship, and had ominous spikes and protrusions covering its surface. It looked like something out of a nightmare. "Arm the plasma cannons," Riker ordered. "Charge up the shields. We have to be prepared for anything." Suddenly, a deep, guttural voice boomed through their communication channels. "Pitiful humans," it growled in barely discernible English. "Your kind are weak. Surrender now or be destroyed." Panicked murmurs rippled through the human crew. They were explorers and scientists, not soldiers. How could they hope to stand against such a terrifying alien force? But Zach clenched his jaw, a flicker of determination sparking within him. He might be scared, but he refused to go down without a fight. Cowardly or not, he was still human, and humans were survivors. "Wait," he called out. "I have an idea." All eyes turned to the young astronaut. "What is it, Zach?" Commander Riker asked, desperation tinging his usually unflappable demeanor. Zach brought up a schematic of the alien ship on the main display. "Look, I noticed an odd energy signature coming from this point near their aft section. I think it might be a weak spot in their shields." Riker's eyes narrowed as he studied the image. "It's a long shot, but it's better than nothing. Good eye, rookie." He turned to the crew. "All right, people, new plan. Divert all power to the forward plasma cannons. Zach, I need you to calculate the exact trajectory for our counterattack. Everyone else, buckle up. This is going to get bumpy." As the crew scrambled to their battle stations, Zach's fingers flew over the navigation console, running lightning-fast calculations. The lives of his crewmates, and possibly the fate of humanity itself, rested on his actions in the next few moments. The alien ship loomed closer, its weapons glowing an eerie green as they powered up. Sweat trickled down Zach's brow and his heart hammered against his ribs. But he refused to let the fear overtake him. With a final keystroke, he locked in the targeting coordinates. "Fire," Commander Riker bellowed. The Odyssey's plasma cannons erupted in a blinding flash of blue-white energy. The beams lanced out across the void and slammed into the alien ship's aft section, right where Zach had calculated. For a breathless moment, nothing happened. Then, a series of explosions rippled across the hostile vessel's hull. Its shields flickered and died, leaving it vulnerable. Seizing their chance, Riker ordered a full barrage from their remaining weapons. The alien ship shuddered under the onslaught, belching gouts of flame and debris. With a final, terrible groan, it broke apart and disintegrated into the vacuum of space. Zach collapsed back into his chair, scarcely able to believe what had just happened. A cheer went up from the human crew as they realized they had just survived their first encounter with a deadly alien race. Commander Riker clapped Zach on the shoulder, a fierce grin splitting his face. Well done, rookie. I guess humans aren't as cowardly as the galaxy thinks. Looks like we got some surprises in store for any alien who thinks they can push us around. With renewed determination, the Odyssey continued its mission. Thanks to Zach's quick thinking and bravery, humanity had just taken its first step in proving that even the most unassuming species could rise to greatness when pushed to the brink. The young astronaut smiled to himself, knowing this was only the beginning of their incredible journey. News of the Odyssey's shocking victory over the alien ship spread like wildfire across the human settlements scattered throughout the galaxy. Some celebrated the crew's bravery, while others feared the repercussions of provoking such a powerful and hostile species. Zach and his crewmates were hailed as heroes upon their return to Earth, but the young astronaut couldn't shake the feeling that their troubles were far from over. His suspicions were confirmed when the Odyssey's data banks revealed a chilling message intercepted from the alien communication network. The humans have proven to be more formidable than we anticipated, a gravelly voice announced. But their defiance will not go unpunished. We will crush their pitiful resistance and show them the true meaning of fear. Commander Riker's face was grim as he relayed the news to Earth's leaders. It seems our little skirmish has caught the attention of the entire alien armada, he said. They're planning a full-scale invasion of our planet to make an example of us for the rest of the galaxy. Panic gripped the human population as they realized the magnitude of the threat they faced. The aliens were technologically superior in every way, and Earth's defenses were woefully inadequate against such an advanced foe. Zach, however, refused to give in to despair. He knew that humans had an incredible capacity for innovation and adaptability in the face of adversity. With a determined glint in his eye, he approached Commander Riker with a daring plan. "Sir, I think I know how we can even the odds," he said. "During our last mission, I picked up some strange energy readings from an uncharted planet in a nearby system. I think it might be the site of an ancient alien crash." Riker's eyebrows shot up. "You think there might be salvageable technology there?" Zach nodded. "If we can get our hands on some of their advanced weapons or shields, it could give us a fighting chance against the invasion." The commander mulled over the proposal, weighing the risks against the potential rewards. Finally, he gave a curt nod. "All right, Zach. Take a small team and check it out. But be careful. We can't afford to lose any more good people." With a hastily assembled crew of the Odyssey's best and brightest, Zach set out for the mysterious planet. As they approached the surface, they could see the twisted remains of a massive alien ship half buried in the swirling sands. The team sat down near the wreckage and began their search, braving the harsh, unforgiving environment. For hours, they combed through the debris, salvaging what they could and trying to make sense of the strange technology. Just as they were about to give up hope, Zach stumbled upon a jackpot. A cache of advanced alien weapons and shield generators, still intact and humming with power. Excited by their discovery, the team quickly loaded up their haul and prepared to depart. But as they made their way back to their ship, a chilling sound filled the air. A swarm of small, vicious-looking alien drones had emerged from the depths of the wreckage, their red eyes gleaming with malice. Zach and his team fought bravely, using their newly acquired weapons to fend off the drones. The air crackled with energy as plasma bolts and laser beams crisscrossed the battlefield. In the end, the humans emerged victorious, but not without casualties. As they tended to their wounded and made their way back to Earth, Zach couldn't help but feel a sense of grim determination. They had the tools they needed to fight back against the alien invasion, but the real battle was just beginning. Earth's fate hung in the balance, and it would take every ounce of human courage and ingenuity to prevail against such overwhelming odds. As the Odyssey touched down on Earth, Zach looked out at the sea of anxious faces waiting to greet them. He knew that the road ahead would be long and difficult, but he also knew that humans had a secret weapon the aliens could never understand: the unbreakable spirit of a species that refused to be broken, no matter how great the challenge. With a deep breath, Zach stepped out to face the waiting crowd, ready to lead humanity into its darkest hour, and, hopefully, its finest triumph. Earth was abuzz with activity as the human race prepared for the impending alien invasion. Factories worked around the clock to produce the advanced weapons and shields reverse-engineered from the technology Zack and his team had salvaged from the crashed alien ship. Commander Riker oversaw the planet's defense efforts, coordinating with military leaders from around the globe to develop strategies and contingency plans. Meanwhile, Zack found himself thrust into the role of a reluctant hero, his exploits on the alien planet having earned him a newfound respect and admiration from his fellow humans. As the days ticked by and the invasion drew closer, tensions ran high. Some people succumbed to panic and despair, while others clung to hope and rallied behind the brave men and women who stood ready to defend their home. Zack spent long hours in the training simulator, honing his skills with the alien weapons and familiarizing himself with their advanced capabilities. He knew that every second counted, and he was determined to be ready when the time came. One evening, as he sat in his quarters studying the latest intelligence reports, a soft knock at the door startled him from his thoughts. He opened it to find a young woman standing there, her eyes wide, and filled with a mixture of fear and determination. "Zack," she said, her voice trembling slightly, "I know you're busy, but I just wanted to thank you for everything you're doing. You've given us all hope in these dark times." Zack felt a lump form in his throat, overwhelmed by the weight of responsibility that had been placed on his shoulders. He managed a small smile and nodded. "We're all in this together," he said, "and we'll find a way to win, no matter what it takes." As the woman left, Zack turned back to his reports with renewed determination. He knew that the fate of the entire human race rested on the outcome of the coming battle, and he would do everything in his power to ensure their victory. The day of the invasion arrived, and the skies above Earth darkened as the alien fleet emerged from hyperspace. Massive ships, bristling with weapons and pulsing with malevolent energy, descended upon the planet like a swarm of angry locusts. Earth's defenses sprang into action, and the battle for survival began. Zack found himself at the forefront of the fight, leading a squadron of elite pilots in a daring aerial assault against the alien mothership. The air crackled with energy as the two forces clashed, plasma bolts and laser beams crisscrossing the sky in a deadly dance. Zack's team fought bravely, their skills and determination matched only by the sheer desperation of their cause. Despite their best efforts, the human forces began to take heavy losses. The alien technology was simply too advanced, and their numbers too overwhelming. Zack gritted his teeth as he watched his fellow pilots fall one by one, their screams of defiance echoing over the comm channels. Just as all hope seemed lost, a brilliant idea flashed through Zack's mind. He remembered the strange energy readings he had detected from the alien mothership, and suddenly everything clicked into place. With a burst of speed, he broke formation and rocketed towards the massive vessel, dodging incoming fire and weaving through the debris of fallen ships. His wingmen called out to him in confusion and concern, but Zack ignored them, his focus laser-sharp. As he approached the mothership, he armed the experimental EMP device that the human scientists had developed based on the salvaged alien technology. It was a long shot, but if his hunch was right, it might just give them the edge they needed. With a silent prayer, Zack fired the device and watched as it streaked towards the alien ship, its blue energy trail cutting through the chaos of the battle like a beacon of hope. The device impacted the mothership's hull and detonated in a blinding flash of light. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, to Zack's amazement and relief, the mothership's lights flickered and died, its weapons falling silent as the EMP pulse overloaded its systems. A cheer went up from the human forces as they realized what had happened. Seizing the opportunity, they redoubled their efforts, swarming the crippled alien fleet like avenging angels. The battle raged on, but with the mothership out of commission, the tide had turned in humanity's favor. As the last of the alien ships fell and the smoke began to clear, Zack felt a sense of triumph and relief wash over him. They had won the day, but he knew that this was only the beginning. The aliens would not take this defeat lightly, and Earth would need to be ready for whatever came next. In the aftermath of the epic battle, Earth's forces regrouped and tended to their wounded. The alien mothership's destruction had dealt a significant blow to the invading armada, but Zack knew that the war was far from over. As the human scientists studied the wreckage of the fallen alien ships, they made a startling discovery. The advanced technology that had given the aliens such a formidable advantage was not entirely of their own making. It seemed that they had been scavenging and reverse engineering the remnants of an even more ancient and powerful civilization. Zack and Commander Riker pored over the newfound information, trying to piece together the implications of this revelation. If the aliens were merely scavengers, then who had created the original technology? And what had happened to that long-lost civilization? As they grappled with these questions, a new threat emerged. The alien forces, though weakened, had not been entirely defeated. They had retreated to the far reaches of the solar system, where they were regrouping and preparing for a second assault. Zack knew that Earth's defenses, even bolstered by the salvaged alien technology, would not be enough to withstand another full-scale attack. They needed a new plan, a way to take the fight to the enemy and end the war once and for all. With time running short, Zack proposed a daring mission. He would lead a small strike team deep into enemy territory, infiltrating the alien command ship and sabotaging their weapons systems from within. Commander Riker was hesitant at first, knowing the incredible risks involved. But as Zack outlined his plan and the potential rewards, the commander's resolve hardened. He knew that this might be their only chance to save Earth and secure a lasting peace. Assembling a team of the bravest and most skilled fighters, Zack prepared for the mission of a lifetime. They equipped themselves with the most advanced weapons and stealth technology the human scientists could devise, knowing that even the slightest mistake could spell doom for them all. As they set out in a sleek, state-of-the-art spacecraft, Zack couldn't help but feel a sense of trepidation. He knew that he was leading his team into the heart of darkness, and there was no guarantee that any of them would make it back alive. But he also knew that the fate of the entire human race rested on their shoulders. They were the last line of defense, the only thing standing between Earth and total annihilation. As they approached the alien command ship, Zack's heart raced with a mixture of fear and determination. They had come too far to turn back now, and he knew that he would stop at nothing to complete their mission. With a deep breath, he gave the order to begin the infiltration. The team moved like shadows, slipping past the ship's defenses and making their way deeper into the vessel's labyrinthine corridors. They encountered resistance at every turn, the aliens fighting back with a ferocity born of desperation. But Zack and his team were ready, their weapons blazing and their resolve unshakable. As they fought their way towards the ship's central control room, Zack couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. He sensed a presence lurking in the shadows, a malevolent intelligence that seemed to be guiding the aliens' every move. When they finally reached their target, they found themselves face to face with a massive, pulsating machine that seemed to be the source of the aliens' power. Zack knew that if they could destroy this device, it would cripple the entire alien fleet and give Earth the upper hand in the war. But as they prepared to plant their explosives, a chilling laugh echoed through the chamber. A figure emerged from the shadows, a tall, spindly creature with eyes that glowed with an otherworldly intelligence. "You foolish humans," the creature hissed, its voice dripping with contempt. "You think you can stop us? You have no idea what you're up against." Zack felt a chill run down his spine as he realized the true magnitude of the threat they faced. This was no mere alien invasion, but something far more ancient and powerful than they had ever imagined. As the creature advanced on them, Zack knew that the fate of the entire galaxy hung in the balance. They were the only ones who could stop this menace and protect the countless civilizations that depended on them. With a roar of defiance, he charged forward, his weapon blazing and his heart pounding with the courage of a true hero. The final battle had begun, and the fate of the universe would be decided in the heart of an alien ship, far from the safety of home. The alien commander's words echoed in Zack's mind as he and his team fought for their lives in the heart of the enemy ship. The revelation that they were facing an ancient and malevolent force, far greater than they had ever imagined, only served to strengthen their resolve. With every ounce of courage and skill they possessed, Zack and his companions battled the alien troops, their weapons flashing and their hearts pounding with the thrill of combat. They knew that the fate of the entire galaxy rested on their shoulders, and they would not let their fellow humans down. As the fighting raged on, Zack caught a glimpse of the alien commander, its spindly form darting through the shadows like a malevolent spider. He knew that if they could defeat this creature, it would deal a crippling blow to the alien forces and give them a chance to end the war once and for all. With a burst of speed, Zack broke away from the main battle and chased after the commander, his weapon at the ready. The creature led him on a twisting, turning path through the ship's corridors, always staying just out of reach. Finally, they emerged into a vast, cavernous chamber, filled with pulsing machinery and eerie, glowing lights. The alien commander stood at the center of the room, its eyes gleaming with malice, and its claws flexing with anticipation. "You have come far, human," it hissed, its voice dripping with contempt. "But you cannot hope to defeat me. I am the embodiment of a power beyond your comprehension." Zack gritted his teeth and raised his weapon, knowing that he was facing the fight of his life. With a roar of defiance, he charged forward, firing off shot after shot at the alien commander. The creature was incredibly fast and agile, dodging and weaving through Zack's attacks with ease. It lashed out with its claws, tearing at Zack's armor and leaving deep gashes in his flesh. But Zack refused to give up, his determination and courage driving him on. He fought with every ounce of strength he possessed, his weapon blazing and his heart pounding with the thrill of battle. As the fight wore on, Zack began to notice a pattern in the alien commander's movements. It seemed to be drawing power from the machinery around them, using it to fuel its incredible speed and strength. With a flash of inspiration, Zack realized that if he could damage the machinery, it might weaken the creature and give him a chance to strike a decisive blow. He focused his fire on the pulsing conduits and glowing panels, watching with satisfaction as they exploded in showers of sparks and debris. The alien commander let out a howl of rage and pain as its power source was destroyed, its movements becoming sluggish and erratic. Seizing his chance, Zack lunged forward, his weapon aimed directly at the creature's heart. But even in its weakened state, the alien commander was a formidable foe. It lashed out with its claws, catching Zack off guard and sending him flying across the room. He landed hard, his weapon clattering to the floor beside him. As he struggled to his feet, Zack saw the alien commander advancing on him, its eyes glowing with malevolent triumph. He knew that this was his last chance, his final stand against the forces of darkness. With a roar of defiance, Zack charged forward, his fists clenched and his heart pounding with the courage of a true hero. He launched himself at the alien commander, pouring every ounce of his strength and determination into a single devastating blow. The impact was incredible, sending shockwaves rippling through the chamber and throwing both Zack and the alien commander to the ground. For a moment, all was still, the only sound the hum of the damaged machinery and the pounding of Zack's heart. Then, slowly, the alien commander stirred, its eyes flickering with a fading light. It looked up at Zack, a strange expression on its face that might almost have been respect. "You have fought well, human," it rasped, its voice weak and fading. "Perhaps your kind is not as weak as we believed. But know this, the true threat to your galaxy is still out there, waiting in the shadows. You have won this battle, but the war is far from over." With a final, shuddering breath, the alien commander collapsed, its body disintegrating into a cloud of shimmering dust. Zack stood over it, his chest heaving with exertion, and his mind reeling with the implications of the creature's final words. He knew that they had won a great victory here today, but he also knew that their struggle was far from over. As he turned to rejoin his team and make their escape from the alien ship, Zack couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning of a much greater adventure, one that would test the limits of human courage and determination in the face of an ancient and malevolent power. With the alien commander defeated and the immediate threat to Earth neutralized, Zack and his team returned home to a hero's welcome. The people of Earth celebrated their victory, hailing the brave warriors who had risked everything to protect their planet and their way of life. But even as the celebrations continued, Zack couldn't shake the feeling of unease that had settled over him since his final confrontation with the alien commander. The creature's dying words echoed in his mind, a warning of a greater threat lurking in the shadows, waiting to strike. As the weeks passed and life on Earth began to return to normal, Zack found himself consumed by the need to uncover the truth behind the alien commander's cryptic message. He pored over the data they had collected during their mission, searching for any clue that might lead him to the answers he sought. It was during one of these late-night research sessions that Zack stumbled upon a startling discovery. Hidden deep within the alien ship's computer systems was a set of coordinates pointing to a distant planet on the far edge of the galaxy. Zack knew that he had to investigate, to see for himself what secrets this mysterious world might hold. He gathered a small team of his most trusted allies and set out on a new mission, determined to uncover the truth and protect Earth from whatever dangers lay ahead. As they approached the planet, Zack and his team were immediately struck by the eerie silence that seemed to hang over the world like a shroud. The surface was a blasted wasteland, dotted with the ruins of ancient cities and the twisted remains of long-dead civilizations. But as they explored deeper, they began to notice signs of recent activity. Strange, alien structures had been erected amidst the ruins, and the telltale signs of advanced technology could be seen everywhere they looked. Suddenly, a burst of energy ripped through the air, and Zack and his team found themselves under attack by a swarm of alien drones. They fought bravely, their weapons blazing and their skills put to the ultimate test. But even as they battled for their lives, Zack couldn't shake the feeling that there was something more going on here, something that they had yet to uncover. With a burst of inspiration, he led his team deeper into the heart of the alien complex, determined to find the answers they sought. What they discovered there was beyond anything they could have imagined. At the center of the complex was a massive, pulsating machine, unlike anything they had ever seen before. It seemed to be drawing power from the very fabric of space and time itself, warping reality around it in ways that defied comprehension. And there, standing before the machine, was a figure that Zack recognized all too well. It was the alien commander, or at least, what was left of it. The creature had been transformed, its body fused with the machine in a grotesque amalgamation of flesh and metal. "You fools," it hissed, its voice a distorted echo of its former self. "You think you have won, but you have no idea what you are up against. This machine is the key to a power beyond your wildest dreams, a power that will allow us to conquer not just your pitiful planet, but the entire galaxy." Zack and his team knew that they had to act fast, to destroy the machine before it could be used to unleash untold destruction upon the universe. They fought with everything they had, their weapons and their courage pushed to the absolute limit. In the end, it was Zack who delivered the final blow, his weapon piercing the heart of the machine and sending a shockwave of energy rippling out across the planet. The alien commander let out a final, agonized scream as it was consumed by the blast, its body disintegrating into nothingness. As the dust settled and the smoke cleared, Zack and his team stood amidst the ruins of the alien complex, their hearts pounding with the thrill of victory. They had won, but they knew that this was only the beginning. For out there, in the vast reaches of the galaxy, there were still untold dangers waiting to be discovered, ancient powers that threatened the very fabric of existence itself. And Zack knew that it would be up to him and his fellow humans to stand against them, to fight for the survival of their species and the protection of all that they held dear. As they boarded their ship and set out for home, Zack couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and determination washing over him. They had come so far and faced so many challenges, but they had never given up, never surrendered in the face of overwhelming odds. And he knew that as long as there were humans like him, willing to stand up and fight for what they believed in, there would always be hope for the future, no matter what dangers lay ahead. With the alien threat vanquished and the mysterious machine destroyed, Zack and his team returned to Earth once more, their hearts filled with a sense of triumph and relief. They had faced the greatest dangers the galaxy had to offer and emerged victorious, thanks to their bravery, their skill, and their unbreakable spirit. But even as they celebrated their hard-won peace, Zack knew that their work was far from over. The alien commander's final words still haunted him, hinting at a greater power at play, a force that threatened not just Earth, but the entire galaxy. Determined to uncover the truth, Zack threw himself into his research once more, poring over the data they had collected from the alien complex and searching for any clue that might lead him to the answers he sought. And as he dug deeper, he began to uncover a web of secrets and lies that stretched back centuries, to the very dawn of galactic civilization. He learned of an ancient race of beings, long since vanished from the universe, who had possessed technology and knowledge far beyond anything the galaxy had ever seen. They had been the ones to create the machine that the aliens had sought to control, a device capable of harnessing the very fabric of reality itself. But the ancient race had not been the benevolent guardians that Zack had hoped for. Instead, they had used their power to conquer and enslave, to bend the will of entire species to their own twisted desires. And now, it seemed, their legacy lived on, in the form of a new threat that sought to claim their power for itself. Zack knew that he had to act fast, to gather his allies and prepare for the fight of their lives. He reached out to the leaders of Earth and the other free worlds of the galaxy, urging them to put aside their differences and unite against this common foe. And to his surprise, they listened. For the first time in generations, the peoples of the galaxy came together as one, pooling their resources and their strength in the face of this new and terrifying adversary. Zack found himself at the forefront of this alliance, leading a team of the galaxy's greatest warriors and scientists in a desperate race against time. They scoured the stars for any sign of their enemy, following the trail of clues left behind by the ancient race and the alien commander. And finally, on a remote and desolate world, they found what they had been searching for, a vast and terrible machine, pulsing with the power of 1,000 suns, and guarded by an army of twisted and monstrous creatures, the likes of which Zack had never seen before. The battle that followed was the stuff of legend, a desperate struggle against impossible odds. Zack and his allies fought with everything they had, their weapons and their courage pushed to the absolute limit as they faced down the horrors that the machine had unleashed upon them. But even in the face of such overwhelming power, Zack and his team refused to give up. They fought on, driven by the unbreakable spirit that had carried them through so many trials and challenges before. And in the end, through sheer grit and determination, they emerged victorious once more, the machine destroyed, and the galaxy saved from the clutches of an ancient and terrible evil. As the dust settled and the smoke cleared, Zack stood amidst the ruins of the battlefield, his heart pounding with the thrill of victory. He knew that they had won a great victory here today, not just for Earth, but for all the free peoples of the galaxy. And as he looked out across the stars, he couldn't help but feel a sense of hope and wonder washing over him. For he knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, no matter what dangers the future might hold, the spirit of humanity would always endure, always stand tall in the face of darkness and despair. And with that knowledge burning bright in his heart, Zack turned his gaze towards the horizon, ready to face whatever new adventures the galaxy had in store for him. For he was a hero, a champion of the human race, and he would never rest until the universe was safe and free, once and for all. In the aftermath of their greatest victory, Zack and his team returned to Earth as heroes, their names etched forever in the annals of galactic history. They were greeted with parades and celebrations, their deeds celebrated on every world that had joined the alliance against the ancient evil. But for Zack, the true reward was the knowledge that he had made a difference, that he had helped to protect the innocent and safeguard the future of the galaxy. He knew that there would always be new threats to face, new dangers to confront, but he also knew that he would never back down, never surrender in the face of adversity. As the weeks turned into months, and the months into years, Zack found himself called upon again and again to defend the galaxy from those who would do it harm. He faced down rogue AI, ancient alien artifacts, and even the twisted machinations of his own kind, always emerging victorious through his courage, his skill, and his unbreakable spirit. And through it all, he never forgot the lessons he had learned, the bonds he had forged with his fellow warriors and allies. He knew that true strength came not from the weapons he wielded or the ships he flew, but from the heart and the soul, from the unbreakable ties of friendship and loyalty that bound them all together. As the years went by, Zack found himself taking on a new role, that of a mentor and guide to a new generation of heroes. He trained them in the ways of combat and strategy, passing on the wisdom and knowledge he had gained through a lifetime of struggle and sacrifice. And as he watched them grow and flourish, taking their place among the stars as the protectors of the innocent and the defenders of the just, Zack couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and accomplishment washing over him. For he knew that he had helped to create something truly special, a legacy that would endure long after he was gone. But even as he reveled in the peace and prosperity that his efforts had helped to bring about, Zack never forgot the lessons of the past, the sacrifices that had been made and the lives that had been lost. He knew that the price of freedom was eternal vigilance, and that there would always be those who sought to tear down what he and his allies had worked so hard to build. And so, as he stood on the bridge of his ship, gazing out at the stars that he had fought so hard to protect, Zack made a silent vow to himself and to all those who had come before him. He would never rest, never stop fighting for what he believed in, until the galaxy was truly safe and free once and for all. For he was a hero, a champion of the human race, and a beacon of hope to all those who looked to the stars and dreamed of a better tomorrow. And with that knowledge burning bright in his heart, Zack set out once more into the vast and infinite reaches of space, ready to face whatever new challenges and adventures the universe had in store for him. As he plotted a course for the unknown, Zack couldn't help but smile to himself, remembering the words that had guided him through so many trials and challenges before. "It's not the size of the dog in the fight," he murmured to himself. "It's the size of the fight in the dog." And with those words ringing in his ears, Zack stepped forward into the future, ready to embrace whatever lay ahead with open arms and an unbreakable spirit. For he was human, and though he might be small in the grand scheme of things, he knew that he possessed a courage and a determination that could move mountains and reshape the very stars themselves. And as he set out on his next great adventure, Zack knew that he would never be alone, that he would always have the support and the love of his fellow humans, the bond of brotherhood and sisterhood that had carried them through so many trials and challenges before. And with that knowledge burning bright in his heart, Zack knew that there was nothing he could not accomplish, no foe he could not vanquish, no challenge he could not overcome. For he was a hero, a champion of the human race, and the galaxy would forever be a brighter and more hopeful place because of him.